going on, YouTube? This is BoxingWave. This video here was requested by email, all right, of Andre Ward and Nevada State Athletic Commission not sanctioning his fight with Rohan Murdoch, okay? I knew about it. I didn't really say anything because I was kind of waiting to see what actually happened, if they was going to let him go on with the fight or not. You know, I was kind of just waiting to see who his opponent was going to be, okay? This fight is supposed to be on the Cotto Canelo undercard, all right? Now, I did check out this guy, Murdoch. I checked him out. You know, I looked up his box rec. I actually watched a few fights that was on YouTube. And, you know, his record is a pretty decent record. You know, the guy's 18-1 with 1 loss and 14 knockouts. And you look at his record and you say, all right, he doesn't have a bad record. You know, let me go on YouTube and just check him out, see whatever fights are available. It's not a lot of fights on camera. And most of the videos that's up on YouTube now is in regards to him possibly fighting Andre Ward. But there are a couple videos on there where he got some knockouts, right? And I wasn't impressed, okay? Not in the least bit. In fact, that I think the fighters that he fought were probably some of the worst fighters that I've ever seen fight. Like, seriously, like the guys that he fought aren't even boxers. Like, they look like some random guys they just found on the street and they put them in the ring with gloves on. And Murdoch went in there and knocked them out, okay? I'm not impressed with Murdoch and the fighters that he's fought, okay? And no, he shouldn't be in there with a guy like Andre Ward, a guy that people feel is pound for pound one of the best boxers in the world, if not the best, now that Floyd retired. Okay, he just doesn't belong in the ring with Andre Ward, period. You know, if Andre Ward was fighting once a month, maybe he can throw a Rohan Murdoch in there. But you know, the guy just finished coming off a win against Paul Smith, a fighter who's much better than Rohan Murdoch. Okay? Ward should not be fighting this guy. Okay? He shouldn't be. In fact, I think this matchup is so bad, it's worse than Danny Garcia against Salka because of the standards that we hold by Andre Ward. All right? Andre Ward, you know, Danny Garcia never really was a pound-for-pound caliber fighter. Or most people didn't really consider him. Maybe after the Matisse fight, you know, you would throw him on the end of the list or whatever. But Danny Garcia and Salka fight wasn't as bad as Andre Ward fighting a Rohan Murdoch. Okay? In fact, Andre Ward is supposed to be moving up in weight and fighting. And why is he still fighting a super middleweight? Okay, if he's going to light heavy, why is he fighting Murdoch? You know, I'm sure that fight would be at a catch weight as well, or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they'll fight at 175. But the fight shouldn't be happening. This guy doesn't belong in the ring. And regardless of what his record says, go and watch his fight. He's not good. He's not good enough to be in there with a Ward. Okay? So, with that being said, now as far as the commission not sanctioning this fight, I kind of have a problem with that, even though Ward should not be fighting this guy, and I agree with that. Personal opinion, because the guy is just not skilled enough to be in there with an Andre Ward. But at the same time, if the commission is going to show integrity all the time, not just one specific time, but if they're going to be consistent with this and stop fights that should not happen, like a Danny Garcia versus Salka or Lamont Peterson against an Edgar Santana, you know, and some of the other fights we've seen in recent years, if they're going to stay consistent with doing this and the sanctioning bodies as well, then fine. But if you're just going to pick one guy, because I feel like in some reason, some way, shape, or form, this is some type of personal thing. If that's the case, then it's wrong. Okay? Because I remember earlier this year when I read an article about how the sanctioning bodies are going to try to enforce more unification matches. And from when I read that, I was excited. I said, okay, well, now we could get some better fights. But I haven't really seen it, and then, when Adrian Broner fights a guy, Alec Verdiev, or whatever his name is, when he fights him and then he calls out Ashley Diapane, and I'm like, what are you calling him out for? You're doing a favor for Floyd because Floyd promised him a title fight, and now you're talking about, well, I'm going to just fight whoever I want now. And that kind of stuff bothers me. That bothers me when I hear that, because Adrian Broner will sit here and brag about him being a 4-time champ, but you went and fought the easiest champs, and then you moved into another division. You went up, fought Paulie, won the title, went down for Alec Verdiev and won the title, and it's like you're a 4-time champion, but you haven't unified. You're not fighting the champions in the division. You're fighting just the easiest champs and getting a title, and fighting for a vacant title at that. You didn't even beat the champ to get this, to be a champion. It's so easy to be a champion now. It's easier. Okay, I don't want to just take away all the credit, but anyway, Andre Ward. Back to Andre Ward. This fight, it shouldn't be happening, man. He shouldn't be fighting guys like this, especially coming off of a win, Paul Smith. How are you preparing yourself for Kovalev by fighting Rohan Murdoch? How are you preparing for that? There's plenty of light heavyweights you could be fighting. Plenty. And I'm not even saying John Pascal. I'm not saying Peterbiev. I'm not even talking about the main guys everybody know about. All right? There's a video. I'll do a video. There's up-and-coming fighters, plenty of them, that you could be fighting, and I don't know why you're not doing it. You're not preparing for a good fight. You fight a few bums and then go and fight Kovalev. I won't be surprised if you get knocked out, because you're not fighting anyone to keep you sharp. Training and just fighting guys like Paul Smith and Murdoch is not going to get you prepared for a Kovalev fight. And I'm not saying he would lose that fight, but if he is to lose the fight, it might just because Kovalev is a superior fighter. Okay, we can say that. We will say that. I will say that. But you're not preparing yourself for that type of fight. Kovalev is a pound for pound knockout artist. The dude destroyed, annihilated Bernard Hopkins for 12 rounds. Could have knocked him out if he really wanted to. And you're going to get in the ring with that guy, but before that, you're going to fight guys like Paul Smith and Rohan Murdoch? What is Andre Ward doing? At least the Edwin Rodriguez guy was a big puncher that was much bigger than Ward. He came in overweight. The guy walks around at 200 pounds. It was a very physical, tough fight with Ward. Very physical. The ref had to take points. It was, warned them for disqualification. At least that fight, it was a rough, physical fight. But, and you're fighting a bigger guy, a guy that is fighting at light heavyweight now, a guy that hasn't lost. So I give Ward some credit for that fight. But fighting Paul Smith was a downgrade, in my opinion. And fighting this guy is like the easiest fight. I complained and ranted about Floyd Mayweather fighting Andre Berto, but there is no worse mismatch in recent memory than this fight. And if there is, please remind me in the comments. What is Andre Ward doing right now? And I know people have agendas, and I know there's a Golovkin Andre Ward war going on right now. Okay, it's the new Pacquiao Mayweather. The Golovkin fans, the Golovkin and Pacquiao fans are like hand in hand, and then the Ward Mayweather fans go hand to hand. And I know the fans are arguing every day in, day in and day out about this, but uh, who cares? But if you're defending Andre Ward, it's really hard to defend him for this. Like this is bad, you know. But as far as the commission is concerned, if they're gonna stay consistent with not sanctioning fights because it's such a huge mismatch, and Andre Ward is still, I believe, currently holding the WBA Super Champ title at 168. Why should this fight be happening? You know, I'm more disappointed with Ward than anything. You know, but I don't think they should not sanction a fight. I think it's corny that he's gonna take the fight, but they're not. They should not do it unless they're gonna be consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? Not just do this one fight and we never see them do it again. Whenever there's a huge mismatch, because we've seen so many of them recently that it's becoming a norm. So that's it. You know, I don't want to speak any more on it. There's plenty of guys in the light heavyweight division that Ward could fight before fighting a Kovalev. Okay, I'm gonna make another video because I want to talk about some guys in the light heavyweight division that I'm watching and that I like, and so check out and be on the lookout for that. But anyway, I'm out on this one. Make sure you guys subscribe.